Hello my fellow riders, this is Chris at Riding Reviews, and today we're going to be looking at the Tempest GT 125cc. Today we are going to be talking about the Lexmoto GT Tempest. Now this is a 125cc Euro 4 motorbike. And we're going to do this in a slightly different way to what we normally do. We are going to do spec, design, comfort, pros and cons, and cost of riding. Now we're going to start off with spec. This is a 100 km/h bike. Usually with Lexmoto, they are a little bit low on their estimates, and they usually do a little bit more than what they say. So it's a 100 km/h bike, and this should be good for somewhere in the 60s to 65 miles an hour once you've done the running in process. Now it comes in at 7.2 kilowatt hours of power, and that is 9.7 horsepower. The Newton range is 8.6. Now you might think that this is rather low, but for a 125cc Euro 4 motorbike, a Chinese one, it's around the middle of the range. So it's not the top, it's not the bottom, it's around the middle. It comes with hydraulic discs front and back, and they are combined. That will make it the Euro 4 compliant. It has fuel injection system, and it has a balanced single overhead cam engine. 17-inch wheels at the front and 17 at the back. They are CST and they are tubed. Normally you would have a tube tyre on a spoked rim anyway. The exhaust is stainless steel. You can go twos up on it apparently. I don't see how, but it's got footrest for two people, and it would have like a little bit of a seat under here. If you take that cover off, it's not designed for two people. It's not going to be comfortable, but if you must take two people, you can do it. It comes with an analog rev counter and a digital speedo. This will tell you how far you've been, how fast you're going, what gear you're in, and usually it tells you the time, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. No time on this one. There is also an indicator light, neutral light, and an engine management light. This bike is designed to look partially cafe racer-esque and partially flat tracker. It is a retro design with a modern twist. It is very much designed to be a fun bike and not so much a commuter. There is nowhere to put luggage. It's not really designed for commuting in mind. It's not that comfortable in regards to that, because on a commuter you want to be upright. On this one you are not upright when you are riding. The good things on it's got stainless steel exhaust system, which means that you won't have any problems with the rust in exhaust. Exhaust rust because of the temperature differences and the amount of moisture in the air in regards to steel. This is stainless steel and you do not have the rusting problem. I don't know exactly the science behind it, but it's something to do with the rust can't live on the stainless steel, because the rust is usually a bacteria, I believe. Don't quote me on that, I may be wrong. So it has a bulb indicators and LED rear light. And it comes with a H4 35-35 front light, and there is a grid across it so that you just for styling. There is a screen on the front. Whether that will actually help you when you're riding against weather, I don't think it's going to make that much difference. As I said previously, this is more of a fun bike. I am 5'9" and I can flat foot it both feet on both sides. You are leaning over a little bit on this bike when you're riding, and your legs are not parallel, so they're pointing down a little bit. In that respect, it is quite comfortable, but after leaning a little bit forward on your arms for a long period of time, you're going to find that you're going to get a little bit of cramping in your wrist, potentially. Now, I used to do powerlifting when I was younger. I have a little bit of a bad back now. So for this sort of style, I imagine it's going to give me a little bit of a bad back after riding it for half an hour to 45 minutes. Suspension is rather hard back and front, but all these bikes are brand new, so you've got to take that into consideration when we're doing these sort of reviews. So it is very hard at the minute, but it will soften up over time. Cons. So it comes with a bulbed rear light, and potentially they can blow after a amount of time. Yes, they have been using them for tens of years on older bikes, but now majority of motorbikes indicators now come in LED, so you will potentially have to change them at some point. I know that LED indicators can go wrong as well, but they're less likely to do so than a bulbed light. The rear seat. This bike has the capability of taking 2 people, but I would really not recommend doing so. This seat portion here is not really suitable for taking 2 people, even though it is designed to do so. The only other con that I have on this is the riding position. After a period of time, you are probably going to get sore wrists, sore back. Yeah, so that's that. So pros. It comes with a stainless steel exhaust system, which is always a pro on these sort of bikes, because yes, an exhaust has got a tendency of rusting. With a stainless steel system, that is one problem that you don't have to worry about. The seat is fairly comfortable and it will get softer over time, but as I said before in one of the cons, it is only suitable for one person. I did just take this up and down the road a little bit outside, and it feels very punchy. The brakes feel nice and firm. They will get better over time. They are not bedded in yet, but they did stop me perfectly fine at 40 miles an hour. I know this bike is designed to go faster, but that's all I can get on the road out the front. It does have a very nice light. And it does start on the side stand. One of the other cons on this bike is it does not have a center stand. So if you're doing your maintenance on your chain, you can't do that as it is. Excuse me, you can't do that as it is now. You would need to get a paddock stand. This bike comes in on the road at £1,999. Tax comes free for your first year, then after it is £20 a year. Insurance for a 17-year-old, you should be looking somewhere in the region of say £350 to £500. You do have to look around, and it is quite often a better idea to give them a ring. If you decide you want to have a look for insurance for this bike, there is a link in the description for BikeSure, and if you do go with them, Riding Reviews gets a little bit of money, a little bit of a back kick from them just for the referral, and that always helps with my channel. You do not have to have an MOT for 3 years, and that is across the board with any new motorcycle. And these come with 2 years parts and labour warranty. And that is a non-consumable warranty. So anything that you would have to replace for general wear and tear would not be covered under warranty. If you go down the road and something happens within your first week, 2 weeks or so, then you can say pretty much that they have to replace it. Anything after that, it would be non-consumable items only. So your engine, your seats, your tank, your exhaust, your wheels, your brakes, would all be covered, but things like tyres, brake pads, chains, sprockets, that sort of stuff would not be covered. So I will be doing a test ride video on this bike as well, but I am going to do a separate video. What I am going to try and do in the future is a review on a Friday and a test ride on a Tuesday, just so that we can try and get the 2 videos going at the same time. But because I'm doing them at the same time, hopefully I will have more time to make my videos better. So please subscribe to my channel. If you've liked my video, hit the thumbs up, thumbs down, and hit the notification bell to stay updated to all my latest content. But as always, ride safe.